Ladies and gentlemen, every one of us has been hurt by someone we trusted, whether through words that cut deep, betrayal we never expected, or actions that left scars we couldn't see. But what if I told you that the people who try to break you are actually handing you the tools to build yourself stronger? What if every insult, every rejection, and every wound could become the very fuel that powers your success? Today, we're not just talking about surviving hurt. We're talking about transforming it into unstoppable strength. When someone hurts you, the immediate reaction is often to ask yourself why it happened or what you did to deserve it. The thought can stick in your mind like a scar that refuses to heal, and the weight of it can change how you see yourself. But the truth is that pain is not meant to define who you are, it is meant to refine you. Every single challenge, heartbreak, or betrayal holds a hidden lesson inside it. When you choose to focus on the lesson instead of the wound, you slowly start to rebuild yourself with more strength than before. You become more aware of your own boundaries, your worth, and the kind of people you want in your life. Pain can be heavy, but when carried with purpose, it turns into wisdom. It molds you into someone who can rise above circumstances, someone who refuses to be trapped in the shadow of hurt. The key is to see every wound not as an end, but as the beginning of something stronger within you. Imagine a flame touching metal, the heat bends, reshapes, and purifies it. That's exactly what pain can do when you don't allow it to consume your identity. You may feel broken at first, but over time you realize the breaking was only to rebuild you into a better form. Think of the moments where you felt most defeated and notice how they forced you to dig deeper, to discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. Pain, if used correctly, becomes a mirror showing you the strength you would have never acknowledged without it. It teaches patience, empathy, and resilience that no book or lecture ever could. The people who hurt you may have intended to weaken you, but unknowingly, they gave you the tools to create a tougher, wiser version of yourself. That transformation doesn't happen overnight, but each step forward proves that you are not defined by the harm done to you. You are defined by the way you rise after it. Choosing to rise is not easy, because hurt has a way of whispering lies into your mind. It tells you that you're not enough, that you'll never recover, and that you should stay down. But that voice only has power if you give it permission. Instead, focus on asking different questions, ones that help you grow. Instead of thinking, why did they do this to me? Shift the thought to, what can I learn from this experience? This small shift changes everything because it puts control back in your hands. You are no longer a victim of someone else's actions. You become the author of how the story unfolds. Pain then becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. It gives you clarity about your own values and shows you what you will and will not tolerate in your life. That clarity becomes your armor, protecting you in future battles without hardening your heart. As you grow through pain, you begin to see that the people who hurt you do not control your destiny. They may have tried to weaken you, but your strength comes from within, not from their approval or disapproval. Life will always bring people who test your patience, your trust, and your boundaries, but each encounter is an opportunity to refine your character. Every scar becomes a reminder that you have survived something you once thought you couldn't. It is proof that you are stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. When you let pain refine you, you transform it from something destructive into something constructive. You create a version of yourself that no one can take away. In the end, it's not the hurt that defines you, but the courage to rise above it, to rebuild with wisdom, and to continue walking forward with strength. There are times when people will hurt you not because of who you are, but because of what they feel within themselves. Their negativity, jealousy, or bitterness pours out, and it often comes in the form of harsh words or actions meant to bring you down. The instinct is to respond, to defend yourself, to argue back and prove them wrong. But sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain silent. Silence has a power that words cannot always carry. It speaks volumes without a single sound. By not engaging, you protect your peace and your dignity, showing that you value yourself too much to be dragged into unnecessary battles. Silence does not mean weakness. It means strength because it takes more control to walk away than to retaliate. In that stillness, you prove that you are above the chaos being created around you. And in that choice, you reclaim your power. Think about how silence can disarm someone who is trying to provoke you. When they expect a reaction and you give none, It removes the fuel from their fire. They thrive on conflict, on seeing you disturbed, but your calmness becomes a wall they cannot penetrate. It shows that you are not controlled by their anger or manipulation. Silence in those moments is not avoidance, it is wisdom. It tells the world that not every fight deserves your energy, not every voice deserves your response. People may call it indifference, but in reality, it is discipline. You are choosing to invest your words only where they will build and uplift, not where they will be wasted. That decision slowly trains your mind to value peace over noise. And with every instance, you grow stronger in controlling your emotions rather than being controlled by them. There is also a deeper side to silence. It gives you space to think before reacting. Many times, the first words that come out of anger are words you cannot take back. Silence creates a pause, a moment to reflect, to breathe, and to decide if the situation even deserves a response. In that pause, you protect not just your peace but also your relationships with those who may have spoken out of their own hurt. Silence then becomes a tool for clarity. It allows you to respond when you are ready, not when your emotions are running high. And sometimes you realize that no response at all is the best response. This is not suppression, it is mastery of your inner world. That kind of mastery is rare, but it separates those who live in chaos from those who live in control. Walking away in silence is also a statement of self respect. It shows that you know your worth and will not lower yourself to the level of those who try to harm you. Silence is not about ignoring the truth of what happened, but about choosing a healthier way to deal with it. You acknowledge the hurt, but you do not allow it to dictate your actions. Instead of wasting energy proving yourself to people who may never understand, you save it for building the life you want. The absence of words becomes a shield protecting you from the cycle of endless arguments and conflicts. Over time, people learn that your silence is not emptiness but a boundary. And boundaries are essential for protecting your emotional and mental space. In a world that constantly demands reactions, silence becomes your power move. Every time someone doubts you, criticizes you, or tries to make you feel small, you are faced with a choice. You can either internalize their negativity and let it weaken you, or you can use it as fuel to push yourself even further. The sting of rejection or the bitterness of harsh words can hurt deeply, but it also carries a hidden gift, the chance to transform pain into power. When others underestimate you, it becomes an opportunity to prove not to them, but to yourself just how much you are capable of. The energy they use to tear you down can be redirected into building your determination. Instead of letting doubt break you, let it sharpen your focus and ignite a fire inside you. That fire, once lit, can become unstoppable. What was meant to destroy you can actually become the driving force that carries you to new heights. When you start viewing criticism as fuel, it changes the entire way you approach challenges. Every setback no longer feels like an end, but like a signal pushing you to work harder, smarter, and stronger. Their disbelief becomes a motivator, reminding that your worth is not tied to anyone's opinion. Many people in life will not see your potential, and that's okay because their vision is limited by their own perspective. What matters is whether you see your own potential. When you believe in yourself enough, no amount of doubt from others can diminish that inner light. You take their words and turn them into bricks, building the foundation of your success one insult at a time. With every achievement, you are not only silencing their doubts, but proving to yourself that you were always more than they imagined. The most satisfying victories often come when you rise above those who never believed in you. But it is important to understand that proving yourself should not come from anger or revenge. It should come from a deep sense of self respect. Success becomes your quiet answer, the kind that doesn't need to shout but still speaks louder than any argument. Your growth, your progress, and your accomplishments become undeniable proof of your strength. People may still talk, but their voices will fade in the presence of your actions. And in those moments, you realize that the best response to hurtful people is not to fight back with words, but to shine so brightly that their negativity is overshadowed. What once felt like an attack eventually becomes the reason you pushed beyond your limits. Turning doubt into fuel also teaches you discipline. When you are determined to succeed, not because you want to prove others wrong, but because you want to live up to your own potential, you approach every obstacle with relentless energy. The pain of being underestimated drives you to prepare better, work harder, and stay consistent even when things feel tough. That consistency builds habits, and those habits build the life you dream of. In time, you stop caring whether the same people who doubted you ever recognize your worth, because you've already proven it to yourself, and that is the most powerful feeling of all. knowing that you turned their doubt into your strength, their rejection into your motivation, and their attempts to hurt you into the reason you became unstoppable. The people you allow into your life have a profound effect on how you think, feel, and grow. When someone constantly hurts you, it is often a sign that their place in your journey needs to be reconsidered. Protecting your energy is not about being cold or shutting yourself off from the world. It is about valuing your peace enough to be selective with who gets access to it. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table, and not everyone should have the power to influence your emotions. Your energy is like currency, and where you spend it determines the quality of your life. If you keep giving it away to those who drain you, you will have nothing left for the people and opportunities that truly matter. Protecting your space is an act of self love, and it ensures that your growth is not sabotaged by the negativity of others. Choosing the right circle is one of the most important decisions you can make. The people closest to you should be those who uplift you, support you, and remind you of your worth when you forget it yourself. If someone constantly belittles your dreams, questions your abilities, or brings unnecessary chaos into your life, it is not a reflection of you but of them. You cannot control their behavior, but you can control how much of your life they influence. By surrounding yourself with those who believe in you, you create an environment that nurtures success and resilience. Positivity becomes contagious, and so does ambition. When you are in the company of people who push you to grow, your energy multiplies rather than depletes. That is why choosing wisely is not optional. It is essential for living a life aligned with your purpose. Protecting your energy also means setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors with locks, and you decide who gets the key. Without them, people who hurt you will keep finding ways to take advantage of your kindness or test your limits. Boundaries are how you teach others to treat you, and they reflect the value you place on yourself. Saying no to someone who drains your energy is not selfish, it is necessary. It gives you room to say yes to the people and things that bring you peace, joy, and growth. Over time, those who truly respect you will understand and honor your limits, while those who don't were never meant to stay. Boundaries are not about pushing people away, but about keeping the wrong ones from breaking you down. In protecting your energy, you learn to prioritize quality over quantity. You don't need a crowd of people around you. You need a circle that is genuine, trustworthy, and aligned with your values. Even if it means having fewer people in your life, the peace that comes with it is priceless. Negative people thrive in drama, and if you let them, they will drag you into their storms. But when you consciously step away and choose only those who bring calm and inspiration, you begin to notice a shift. Your mind becomes clearer, your goals feel more achievable, and your heart feels lighter. That balance is what allows you to focus on what truly matters. Protecting your energy is not about running from challenges, but about ensuring you face them with the right support and strength beside you.